Excuse the outfit, but it turned out we didn't have quite enough clothes to wear when we were but a lancer. Let's see what the lancer's life was like. Guild receptionist. Welcome to the Lancers Guild, adventurer. If you seek to refine your skills with a polearm, then you've come to the right place. Here at the Lancers Guild, spear wielders gather to train with one another and further hone their abilities under the tutelage of our fine instructors. Do you seek mentorship with us? Very well. I shall provide you with an insight into the history of our guild. More than just an instrument of war, the spear is also a tool for hunting. And with game ever plentiful in the Twelves Wood, the weapon has been a mainstay of the locals here since before the founding of Gridania. With the passing of time, our nation became a gathering place for spear masters across the realm, many eager to test their mettle against the famed might of our wood whalers. And it was here in Gridania that their myriad fighting styles came into contact, eventually giving rise to the art taught here today. The spear technique could be formalized at all, owed much to the founding of the Lancers Guild by wood whaler Captain Mistal, nigh on a century past. The tradition of accepting students from without as well as within Gridania's borders persists to this day, ensuring that the art of the polearm may not only survive, but also continue to evolve. Well, there you have it. I hope this brief history of the guild has helped settle any doubts in your mind. Yeah, that's what I came here for, was context. The Lancers Guild is always eager to welcome new initiates. If you've a will to enlist, speak with me again and we can begin the enrollment procedures. Well then, if you made up your mind to enlist in the Lancers Guild, yes, excellent, I shall let Guildmaster Eorzea know to expect you. All who seek admittance to our ranks must present themselves before him. He will judge if you are fit to become one of us. Pray make your way to the training area within. Our Guildmaster awaits you there. It's very quiet here because it's Gridania music and we're not going to listen to that, are we? Well met, adventurer. I understand you wish to learn the Lancer's art under our roof. I see as you have some combat experience, yet it remains to be seen if such skills as you've acquired will avail you here. But no matter. In my capacity as Guildmaster, I shall guide your training, beginning with the very basics, the principles of our art. There exist myriad fighting styles, each of which has its own unique qualities. None, though, can claim to be as offensively minded as ours. Our approach is ever one of attack, no matter who or what we face. An experienced lancer is able to wield a polearm as if it were an extension of his body. He transforms into a raging storm before his foes, delivering a barrage of devastating thrusts and slashes. To facilitate such a relentless assault, we lancers forego plate, favoring armor of leather and chain. Such materials as provide adequate protection without unduly hindering movement. Get on with it, buddy. Lancer's worth may be measured quite simply, in how swiftly and decisively he can pierce his enemy's defenses. By its nature, the polearm is a simple weapon to wield for good or ill. Even in a farmer's hands, it is capable of wreaking considerable havoc. Thus has been a mainstay of every great army since ancient times. That is true. Yet know that a lance alone does not a lancer make. Faced with unfavorable odds, an unseasoned spearman will break formation and flee without a moment's hesitation. A true lancer, though, flinches not before his enemies, for he knows not the meaning of fear. Ever does he press forward, disdainful of the odds, that he might pierce the enemy line and open a path to victory. Needless to say, doing so requires no small amount of courage. That is why our guild has striven from the first to instill this essential quality in every soul who passes our halls. Arduous trials await you should you join our ranks. Knowing this, have you the resolve to wield the lance? After all that, I hope so. Well said, adventurer. I see no reason to deny you a place within our ranks. But I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Eorzea, master of this guild. Pleasantries duly exchanged, I shall add to your hunting log the names of the creatures against which a lancer might hone his skills. In celebration of this occasion, I hereby present you with your very own spear. Arm yourself with it and speak with me once more. I'd have you undertake your first task, a trial to be precise. Hoo boy. Well, the job-only videos have been running nearly an hour. This is looking like 90 minutes at this rate. So you were able to discern one end of the spear from the other. Good. You are doubtless eager to put your new weapon to the test, which is well, for I too have a test in mind, or rather, a trial. In order to develop an affinity for your weapon and learn to gauge such things as distance, you are to go forth and pitch yourself against the creatures that roam just outside the city. The squirrels, ladybugs, and funguars should provide you with a suitable challenge. Put down, let us say, 3 of each and report back to me. Y'all don't need to see that. Be right back. Oh, hands all dirty from those bugs and shrooms. Always appreciate a task that doesn't scale us down, especially when we're half naked like this. So you are back. I trust you've learned something of the essence of our art. The Lancer learns best when he's doing, each thrust making him stronger. Such things as strategy and technique will come with time. Never forget courage. Without it, you cannot hope to realize your potential. Your look betrays no hint of doubt. That is well. It is clear you see the truth in my words. That will be all for the present. Now take up your weapon, sally forth, and cut a path for yourself. When next we meet, I hope to see you stronger for your time out in the world. Hooray! That was only 6 full minutes and we're already level 5. The meaning of courage. Ah, you've returned. I take from your presence that you have gained a measure of familiarity with your weapon. Good. You are ready to begin the next phase of your training. You will recall my telling you that it takes no small amount of courage to be a Lancer. Now, in general terms, courage is the strength to do something one finds unnerving. However, a Lancer's notion of courage is not so simple. Having first drawn a distinction between courage and recklessness, he then divides the former into 2 aspects. I would have you learn each with spear in hand. The first is composure. When outnumbered in battle, a Lancer may lose his composure and succumb to panic. Should this happen, all his training will swiftly flee his mind, and he will struggle to overcome his opponents whom he would ordinarily have bested with ease. He will, in short, contribute to his own defeat. If you wish to become a Lancer in sooth, you must learn to maintain your composure at all times. Do this, and you'll be able to call upon every ounce of your strength and skill when it matters most. And so your first task. The riverbanks of the Central Shroud are home to vilekin known as Eorzea. Fiercely territorial, the creatures will attack anyone who strays too close, making them the bane of fisherfolk. They typically fall upon their prey en masse, barring all avenues of escape before closing in for the kill. What must go through the mind of their victim in that instant? Panic? Despair? Be sure to tell me upon your return. Needless to say, I would have you brave such an encounter. Take this sack of decidedly noisome bait and use it to lure the ever-ravenous creatures out of their nest. It may be only one curious Eorzea appears, but what if 2 or 3 follow the scent? Let us see how you fare then. Go now, my young Lancer, and learn what it means to fight with composure. Let's read the bait. Unless something cool happens, we won't catch it. Though Eorzeas are said to be attracted to the stench of most any kind of rotting flesh, they become especially excited when the flesh is of a fellow vilekin. Cool. See you shortly. Got Eorzea plates all over me. I apologize. Didn't mean to show up for our date dressed like this, but, topless and covered in ooze is not the worst first you ever had. Welcome back, Erwin, and well done. I trust you now understand that times of direst need, no amount of strength or skill with a spear will avail the Lancer who lacks composure. You are now ready to learn the second aspect of a Lancer's courage, resolve. When faced with a terrible foe, a Lancer may succumb to fear and self-doubt. Should that happen, you will become defensive, and in seeking to cover his weakness, surrender his greatest strength, namely his capacity to attack. A Lancer who fears to attack is not but a man holding a pole. His spear may as well be a broomstick for all the good it'd do him. It is not, and will never be a shield. That you may learn the truth of my words firsthand, I bid you go to Central Shroud, to an area adjoining the abandoned dungeon known as Spirit Hold. Since the calamity, that neck of the 12's Wood has become a veritable menagerie of fearsome fauna. There you will find 3 collapsed pillars, which have become a haunt for fell creatures. You are to put them down. What manner of fiends can you expect to encounter? Ha! To reveal that would be to defeat the purpose of the lesson, my young Lancer. I will say only this: if you face these foes with a Lancer's resolve, you will surely emerge the victor. Once you've completed the trial, pray report to Jillian in the entrance hall. She has grasped the two aspects of courage, albeit with some trouble, though I doubt you will encounter similar difficulties or struggle as furnished her with certain insights which I think you would benefit from hearing. The Lancer learns best when he is doing, but the wisdom of his seniors is not entirely without worth. Now go, Erwin, and do as I bid you. Alright, a two-parter, level 5 already. Shwink! We'll capture this part. Going up against haunts is a little bit more exciting than just taking on water striders. Yarzons. I'm glad I don't share a universe with those things. Always thinking about No-Cat's thought that they're very glad they don't share a world with fast slugs. Collapsed pillar. What manner of beast protects this fallen stone? It's just a bug. You send me here, you tell me it's haunted by devils, and it's just flies. It's just the swarm. Catch that cloud. Collapsed pillar number 3, something more dangerous this time, something with some intent. It's a big frog. But it's still not much match for us, is it? Catch you back at the guild. Where's this lady who grasped those lessons only with some trouble? Hey, Jillian. I've been expecting you, Erwin. By your return, I trust you now understand the importance of resolve. Like one's flesh, courage can be made strong. It is a matter of training each of its aspects. Now the endeavor may prove difficult in the beginning. Gods know how much I struggled. You may suffer untold humiliation and more frustration than you can bear, but you must persevere. Whenever you engage with an opponent, whether in training or in earnest, make a conscious effort to fight with composure and resolve. Over time, doing so will become second nature, and you will acquire such courage as you never thought could be yours. Mind you, not all battles entail a physical clash of might. Could simply be a disagreement born of a conflict in ideology. The point is, it matters not what battlefield you stand upon. So long as you take care to be composed and resolute, your courage will grow. Did that make any sense? Even a little? I fear I can't hold a candle to Guildmaster Owain, but if there's aught I could do to assist in your training, what was that? Something is afoot in the training area. Draw your sword? I don't think you usually sheathe spears. Why would it have made a noise like that? Somebody's here to show these fools that the sword is mightier than the pen, if you know what I mean. Ooh, and you call yourselves lancers? Pathetic. Ah, you are next, Guildmaster. Arm yourself and face me. Refuse, and all will know you are no true lancer. Say what you will. I'm above provocation. Oh, craven to the last man. But not Erwin. Erwin will fight this weird bait guy. Ah, but what have we here? Wait, he's but a novice. That makes no odds to me. You yourself admitted him into your ranks, did you not? Very well, I shall withdraw for now. Yet know that only the fearless are fit to wear the mantle of Lancer. I look forward to measuring your worth in days to come. Sure, buddy, sure. Sashay away. There is not more to see. Return to your drills. I'm all lanced up. Come on, what a long... Those are the longest loads. Erwin, you made no attempt to evade his thrust. Did your opponent so unnerve you as to deprive you of your senses? Well, it is of little consequence now. You need pay no further heed to our uninvited guest, lest you wonder it is not uncommon for challengers to come pounding on our doors seeking to test their mettle. For now, dedicate yourself to tempering the two aspects of courage, the composure to bring the sum of your strength and skill to bear against your foes, and the resolve to attack when fear would stay your hand, as befits a lancer. When next we meet, I shall have another trial for you, one that will put your courage to the test. Until then, continue to apply yourself to your training. Farewell, heroine. Courageous stone. Ah, heroine, I swear you've gained an ilm around the arms since we last spoke. It is plain you have not been idle. In our previous lesson, you learned the Lancer's definition of courage and how you might go about tempering its two aspects. Today, we shall find out if your efforts have borne fruit. I see you've come prepared for battle. That is well. Your next trial will place you in the midst of a throng of enemies. In such a situation, one may be attacked from any direction, making it difficult to respond appropriately. Furthermore, the likelihood of being surrounded is high. Will your resolve bear the weight of uncertainty? Will your composure hold when the odds are stacked against you? We shall soon find out. Should you overcome this trial, what courage you already possess will be further tempered. Now heed me well. This is what you must do. I would have you travel to Naked Rock where the animals claim dominion. At the summit of this rock is a sacred artifact, the Stone of Courage. You must claim it and bring it to me. If you were to reach your destination, you need to negotiate a path through whole packs of flesh-eating scalekin. Make no mistake, the creatures are intimidating foes. To stride into the midst of so many would mask much of any lancer's courage, but given time and no small amount of perseverance, I am confident you will prove equal to the task. Yeah, we can fly, buddy. I think this is gonna go the way you want. As I was saying, take to the air. Maybe them lizards got those long tongues, you know. We just gonna be cruising over a bunch of feisty chameleon types, thirsty for oryx toes. They pull us out of the sky, I'm gonna be real mad. Whereabouts is this stone? Stone? Whoop! I sense a hostile presence. It is no more. Give me that stone. Look how courageous I am. I'm a man of many courages. Ooh, whoa. Cutscene time.
Congratulations, you have obtained the false Stone of Courage. You heard me right. False. What does that say about your courage, I wonder? But where are my manners? My name is Fulquis. We had the pleasure of meeting at the Lancers Guild, as you recall. On that occasion, I turned my weapon upon you, and you betrayed not a hint of fear. It was in that instant I sensed you were unlike the others, that you had promise. And so to the present, in its current state, the trial in which you are engaged, if trial it may be called, makes a mockery of the Lancer's art. Needless to say, this cannot be tolerated. And so I have taken the liberty of moving the Stone of Courage to a more suitable location, after having this elaborate forgery composed. Now resides in the depths of Spirit Hold under the guard of fell fiends, a far more fitting challenge, as I am sure you will agree. Whether or not you attempt to retrieve the stone is for you to decide. If you fear for your safety, I suggest you run back to the guild and bemoan the world's frightfulness to the many brave souls who cower there. Ewain will doubtless consider it a supremely courageous act. Yet know that a lancer may forego true courage only in the midst of great danger.
Were you trying to talk me into not doing it? I mean, this seems like a reasonable argument for not doing it if it's supposed to be so greatly dangerous. Unfortunately for you, as a level 50 lance fella, I don't think anybody's even gonna aggro on me on my way in there. I'm just gonna pick up that rock and there's gonna be a few mandatory men who appear on it. Into the caves. And right back into the corner. Come along, imps. Lockbreaker imp. Breaker Imp. Stone of Courage. You gonna cutscene us again? Hello, rat. Obtain the Stone of Courage. You really take that guy at his word, though. A heavy stone used by the wood whalers for training with a lance. gotta poke that rock. And it goes woof in a really satisfying way. To anyone who noticed that I went to the wrong aetheryte, I think you'll find that I didn't. I didn't do that. I was at the right aetheryte all along. Ewain. So you've returned. Tell me, were you able to obtain the Stone of Courage? Of course I was. It was right there. Yes, this is indeed the stone, though it is in rather worse condition than when I last saw it. What happened at Naked Rock? Once Topless Rock, renamed in my honor. The Lancer who but recently threatened you moved the stone to Spirit Hold. Not content with trespass and slander, the brazen fool now meddles with our training. 7 hells, this is not to be borne. Listen well, Long Point. Though I do not doubt that you know better, my duty as Guildmaster compels me to state the obvious. Heed not that man's words. That a Lancer's courage can only be forged in the midst of great danger is a vainglorious tripe. As you've already learned, a Lancer's courage is the product of composure and resolve. Be under no misapprehension. Watchfully navigating the Annals territory served to temper your courage in a manner that blindly braving the terrors of Spirit Hold did not. That's what I'm saying, we basically failed. As you continue your training, pray keep the lesson of this trial close at heart. Don't just accept quests from anyone, a dangerous proposition. Heroine, you come at a good time. I urgently require your help. Scarcely a bell ago, our old friend Folquist paid us another visit, seemingly intent upon reprising that performance you gave us the other day on the day of your first meeting. As on that occasion you raved till the air was thick with slanders, declaring every soul who met his gaze more craven than the last. This time, though, not all ears were deaf to his myriad provocations. It seems one of our younger members took offense at his words and demanded satisfaction of the rogue. The 2 have since departed to duel in the East Shroud. Had I been on hand, I would have forbidden such folly and rebuked the lad for letting pride cloud his judgment. Alas, I learned of it too late, and the boy is gone. All we can do now is ensure that the hot-headed fool does not come to lasting harm. I would have departed in pursuit of the bearer you came, but my duties kept me here. That is why I turn to you now, Heroine. Pray go to the East Shroud in my stead and watch over our comrade. It was really important that you just sit here watching these dudes spin their spikes around in circles, huh? I mean, you don't really seem like you've got the best interests of these young men at heart, or really... Anyway. Looks like we're right next to our objective. Let's just cruise right on over. This is Sylph Country, right? I think it is. The 9 Ivies. The Honey Yard. Hornet Swarm. Folquist.
So we meet again. You remember who I am, I trust?
Who are you again?
You wounded me. How could you possibly forget your mentor, he who taught you the true meaning of courage? Well, it is of little consequence. Though you have forgotten the teacher, it is plain you have not forgotten his teachings. I understand you were able to retrieve the Stone of Courage in Spirit Hold. It seems I was right about you. You have the makings of a true Lancer, unlike those charlatans of the Lancers Guild. It is well that you've come to me, for I've just the trial for you, one that will do wonders for your courage. Not interested, you say? But you have no choice. Should you refuse, well, suffice it to say, I will not be able to guarantee the safety of your comrade here. When last we spoke, I told you that a Lancer may forge true courage only in the midst of great danger. Needless to say, the threat posed by ordinary creatures is insufficient. You must needs seek out better sport. But fear not, for I have taken the liberty of finding you something suitable. Take this alchemic potation and sprinkle it upon the exposed roots of yonder. Doing so will garner you the wrath of a certain creature, which you must then strike down.
All right. Once again, I'm just doing what this dude wants. The stripes on our copies seen through our transparent body look very much like our rib cage. What's gonna come? A highly toxic liquid entrusted you by the rogue lancer Fulquest. It's Big Tree Boy, Angered Elm. Oop, I don't even know what that was, but I did it to him. Goodbye, Mr. Elm. Fulquest. My apologies.
So you have vanquished the treant. Well done. By striking down that frenzied creature, you have further strengthened your courage. Release your comrade? Oh, I shall. Once you have completed the next trial. This one will pit you against a multitude of foes. Make your way to the liveman's stump in the central shroud. Once there, seek out a likely spot along the forest path to lie in wait. Man-eating wolves are wont to hunt there this time of year, and it should not be long before a pack appears. When the beasts show themselves, you are to slay their leader, the alpha wolf. I shall be observing from up close, the better to offer you advice.
Oh boy. Okay. Alright. Okay, this is the we sinned in a previous life, and this is just what we've gotta do. We gotta make it right, you know? We've got to make it right. We can't just go around doing crimes and expecting to be reincarnated out of them. Occasionally, you need to pay for what you've done. And our payment is doing the Lancer quest and recording it. Every last moment of this classic tale of wolf murdering. It's gotta be caught on camera. The world has got to know. Gotta reveal the truth. Here we go. I think this one's synced, so we might actually struggle a little because all that gear we aren't wearing. We'll see. Waiting. Does this need to be this long? Does this need to be this long? At least we can go on very easy. Okay, sounds coming in. Let's turn the music on now. Hey! The echo grants us strength beyond our limits. It does look like you don't get any AoE.
It is as good as over if the alpha wolf paralyzes you. Will you hold out your courage in the face of terror? We shall see. Courage is forged only in the midst of great danger.
There's the alpha wolf. Pop this boy like a balloon. Nerves sever.
I grow deathly bored. Let me make this more interesting.
What's he doing? Is he gonna fight us?
Oh dear, it would seem you have enraged the beast. My part here is done. I leave the rest to you.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Look how much damage you're doing there, like fucking nothing. What kind of DPS you bring, buddy? Do you even have party utility?
You are to be congratulated, Erwin. By throwing yourself into the midst of danger, you have further tempered your courage.
You seem like a real asshole, Fulquest.
And in the process, you have brought peace to Lifeman's Stump, a place considered sacred by the people of Redania. Having undertaken my trials, you must now see that those issued by the guild are naught but child's play. Mine is the one true path to courage. All others lead to ignominy. If you wish to become a lancer worthy of the name, I suggest you leave Ewain in his house of cravens, never to return. Ah! For your sake, I pray you do so soon, till we meet again.
I fear you not. Let's just head on back to fucking Ewain. At least he's right next to an Aetheryte. Don't have to walk all the way across the fucking city like we do with that summoner lady. Why couldn't she just have parked her? Is all I'm saying, right? So it's not really a question of whether or not it's immersive to be here with this miserable music off before it can destroy us. I like the sound of the rain. Ewain. Hello. Long point, thank the gods you're safe. That young fool of a lancer returned but moments ago and through choked to tears recounted to me all that had transpired. I understand Fulquist again attempted to force upon you his corrupted notion of courage. I cannot say this often enough. A lancer strengthens his courage by tempering his composure and resolve, not by rushing headlong into danger. One of those is like an actionable thing, though. The other is not. You were able to overcome Fulquist's trials, 'tis true, yet know that you did so by virtue of true courage, that is, courage born of composure and resolve. This is a no true courageman fallacy. You know no true bravesman, I guess? You faltered not before the fury of a frenzied treant, nor did you succumb to panic when surrounded by bloodthirsty wolves. Owing to this, you were able to perform to the fullest of your potential. You've come far, Erwin. It is past time I taught you the piercing talon technique, one of the most versatile weapons in the Lancer's arsenal. May it serve you well. Now I must needs decide what course of action to take with regards to your self-appointed mentor. Though no lives were lost, this latest incident only serves to confirm what I have long suspected, that Volquist will cause great harm if left to propagate his corrupted notion of courage. He must be persuaded to desist, though I do not yet know how. Mayhap his regard for you can be turned to our advantage. But leave such considerations to me. For the time being, you would do well to put Volquist from your mind. Focus on your training, and strive to master the technique I've taught you. I look forward to our next meeting. Halfway there, and only 30 minutes in. The good news is I think the Lancer portion of this is actually really short. As I recall, it all takes place in one zone, and it's pretty manageable. Lance of Destiny. I've been expecting you, Longpoint. Have you been training hard? I would set you your next trial, one more dangerous than any you've faced before. But I would not send an unprepared man to his death. Before we proceed, I must needs verify your progress with mine own eyes. You will face 3 experienced Lancers in single combat. Defeat each one in succession, and you will prove yourself fit to undertake the trial. Arm yourself and take your place in the training area. We begin when you are ready. Yes, please. Yes, please. You gonna scale me down for this too? Come on. Here we go. Shall we turn on music? No one is to hold back. Begin. Ooh, well, scaled down though we are. These poor boys. These poor boys. Next, says Ewain, grist for the mill. Literally just disemboweled that man. Doesn't seem like a nice thing to do to a coworker. Next, Sharp-Eyed Lancer. This one's got a little bit of health. He's got a little bit of sustain in him. Dragoon. So we're not using our powers here. Enough, put up your lance. We've only got half an hour to do this in. Damn. It's like the barehanded Lancer challenge. Well done, Erwin. I guess you can't be unarmed in this game. Intriguingly. Ewain. So there's a part 2 to this. I was hoping there'd be an impressive Erwin. Most impressive, you are ready to face the trial. Yet I did not exaggerate when I said it would be dangerous. Make no mistake, to take this test is to risk death. Knowing this, do you still wish to proceed? What do you think I do? I'm an adventurer.
You disappoint me.
It's probably not him. Back again, are you? Oh, it is him.
That man is the only soul in this pathetic excuse for a guild who shows any promise. Which is why I counseled him to leave you. Alas, he chose to remain in your house of cravens. Such a waste. The guild has outlived its purpose, and I mean to see its doors shut and barred for good. If you wish to object, I invite you to do so in City Hall, with lance in hand.
You do not want for confidence, sir, but answer me this. What grudge do you hold against us? What reason did you choose this of all crusades?
I detest cravens who would proclaim their courage, and like nothing better than to crush them. That is my reason.
Oh god, the fucking music is on. God damn it. Well, the fixity of your purpose is clear, even if your reasoning is not. So be it. Suffice it to say, you will not have your way without a fight. Oh, but do not presume that I will be your opponent. No, you must face the Lancer over whom you so grandly claim mentorship. The one man among us whose potential you condescend to acknowledge. Erwin shall represent us all. As guildmaster, I wager the fate of the guild upon his lance.
Ah, do as you will, coward. It is your guild to throw away. You may even set the terms of the contest.
Very well. Erwin is here to undertake a trial. I challenge you to complete the task before he does, or to travel to the East Shroud and prove your courage before the Lord of the Bramble Patch.
He is a giant amongst boars, unrivaled in strength and savagery, and ruler over all his kind.
Oh, nope. Cicely Wayne. You must go there before the fearsome creature and stand your ground. Know, though, that the Lord of the Bramble Patch will not grant an audience to just anyone. You must needs present him an offering of the bloody tusk of his subjects, the wild boars that inhabit the domain. When you prepared an offering, leave it upon an area of trampled earth, drawn to the stench of blood. The Lord of the Bramble Patch will soon appear. That is all. Any questions?
Uh-huh.
No, I nodded, dude. Then let the trial commence. Whew. Can't believe it. I mean, it had gotten kind of good there at the end. I like this bit. It's just that horrible kind of skipping record vibrations. Not my thing. This is gonna go pastoral direction. Oh, there we go. Nice melancholy. Alright, wild boar. 10 boars? Alright, you don't need to see this. There were legit only 8 boars here to kill. I had to wait for these two to respawn to finish our task. Love that shit. That's some early World of Warcraft quest design shit right there. My very favorite. Where am I putting these tusks? Where's the tusk spot? There we go. This is tusked earth. It appears the poor soul who tried to harvest this tusk before you was not so fortunate. A lot of ivory merchants around here, huh? Bloody boar tusks. The long wait again. Let me in. I love easy. Here we go. It begins. You're looking very prim. Boar big. Who's that pig man?
Meow.
Music? Sure. The wager is as good as...
The wager is as good as won. Behold the true meaning of courage.
Oops. Did my forced crit a little early. That's fine. Oh wait, no, well, not really, I guess, because level synced, I still don't even have the third hit in this combo. I have to say that the low-level Lancer absolutely does not hold my attention. It's not the greatest showing of their class design. I wonder if I can fail this by having Folquist die. Well, I didn't just fail it by having myself die, did I? So delicate. So precise.
Meow.
Woof. My boy got porked up. Step on him, I want that twink obliterated. Make the play, take the move. Oh, what? Erwin, you should know better than this. Erwin, just let the man be eaten by the pig. You shan't find much sport in these two. I was killing it. Come back another day, my friend. You can command the pigs? Are you fucking druid? Where's my druid powers? Well done, Erwin. You've completed the trial. I trust you now see the truth in my words. Hurling yourself into the midst of danger is not courage, it is folly.
No, this proves nothing. I refuse to accept.
Ching. You refuse to accept the weakness within yourself.
I'm leaving.
No, Erwin. Leave him be. Your work here is done. Return to the guild. I shall see you there presently. Hooray. Okay, music back off. And nope, don't do it with teleport. Do it with the map. So, probably still got 2 quests to go. Huh? Ewain. Well, I'll lie to you. You are no match for the Lord of the Bramble Patch. Had you betrayed any hint of fear, he would have gored you in the space of a moment and feasted on your entrails. But you stood your ground, holding fast to your composure and resolve. Thus you were able to stare terror in the face and survive unscathed. Well done, Erwin. You've overcome the greatest hurdle to the quest to become master of your own courage. Shouldn't I have retreated then by your own reasoning that facing a foe that is beyond me is not courageous? You may now bring to bear the full extent of your abilities upon even the mightiest of foes. As for Fulquist, well, if there's a shred of reason left in him, he will have learned the selfsame lesson as you this day. Painful though the experience must surely have been, one can only hope it will serve to open his eyes to the truth. Go forth, Erwin, and prepare yourself for further trials. I look forward to our next meeting. And me too, I'm hyped to keep going. Questions and Lancers. It is good to see you again, Erwin, and stronger than when we last spoke. Plainly you devoted many hours to training, which is just as well, for I have a mind to set you to your next task. At the Bramble Patch you came to grasp the true meaning of courage. I would have you put that courage to the proof before 3 masters of our art. In the many years since they began their training within these walls, these men have lived very different lives, yet they share the distinction of being regarded as among the finest lancers of their time. And just as they once looked to their seniors for inspiration, so too shall you look up to them. By availing yourself of their wisdom, you will take another step toward becoming a fully fledged lancer. Your first instructor is a man named Mathiomi. Seek him out at a Marasaic spire in the East Shroud, where he serves as a frontier sentry. The long years at his post have honed Mathiomi's perception. No detail escapes the man's piercing gaze. Present yourself to him for inspection, Erwin, and do as he bids you. Could I get the whole list of people I had to talk to, though? Could I just get the whole list, please? Could you just give me the entire address? Mathiomi, right? Mathiomi. Where are you at, Matthew? Shoutouts to Matthew. The many Matthews who've come and gone in my life. Quite a few, now I think about it. Hey, Mathiomi. You must be the young Lancer I was told to expect. Greetings and well met. I'm Mathiomi, commander of the brave men and women of this spire. Let's have a good look at you. I see. You possess strength and skill in abundance, of this there is no doubt. But you still want for experience. Oh, I don't doubt you've seen much and more. Mayhap you believe there is naught left out there to unnerve you. Yet the world is wide, and only the gods can claim to know it all. You may be assured that the legendary lancers of old faltered at times. No lancer nor any man can foresee all possibilities, but he can steel himself from the unexpected. I would have you do just that. Take this bottle of fresh spoken blood, must be spoken blood, and sprinkle it at the feet of the great tree to the north. Doing so will lure out creatures of the night, which you are to vanquish. More flies, huh? It's always flies. Where? Oh, it's right here. Overshoot. What kind of creatures of the night? The warm blood of a bipedal sentient. For some unknown reason, the humors will not coagulate. I wonder if spoken is a word for drawn when it comes to blood. That sounds very, sort of archaic and standard. I guess these are creatures of the night in the strictest sense. They're blood bats. It's their very enzymes that keep the blood from coagulating. We did it. Hey, Mathiomi, I killed your bats for you in an act of great disloyalty. Welcome back, son, and well done. I bore witness to your battle with mine own eyes. The blood bat bewilders its prey with its ceaseless flittering, which makes putting a spear in the beast an exercise in frustration. Frustration that may easily have given rise to panic. But to your credit, you fought on resolutely and thus emerged the victor. Egwene has taught you well, young one. You have a way to go, to be sure. But beneath those rough-hewn edges, I see the makings of a great lancer. With my blessing, make your way to Buscaron's druthers in the South Shroud. It is there your next instructor, Buscaron himself, awaits. The man has a unique approach to our art. Though it's a fair while since he hung up his spear, his words are well worth hearing. Indeed, lancers visit him as much for counsel as they do his mead, good though it is. By meeting Buscaron and availing yourself of this knowledge, your lance work will surely improve. Buscaron is eternal. He is the fixture of this universe. He just sits at the center of everything. A great spider. Where are we? I don't even know where we are. We'll go to Quarry Mill. Zoop. Quarry Mill. Silent Harbor. Voice breaking there. Very, very unprofessional. Oh, we getting some weather though. This is weather like we got here today. Although of course it didn't rain. It just threatened to. Because it doesn't rain down here anymore. The days of rain in the desert are gone. I don't remember what Buscaron's voice was, but also in no mood to do any anyway. Well, if it isn't Egwene's protege, I thought it was about time you arrived. I'm Buscaron. This here's my place. In case you're wondering why old Egwene sent you, I should mention I've not always been in the food and drink business. Before I opened the druthers, I manned an outpost not far from here. Any road between keeping throats wet and bellies full, I ain't got a great deal of time to chat right now. So if you don't mind, I'll get on with educating you. Now take this nice bottle of full flower mead. Wait, don't open it. This ain't that kind of lesson. No, I want to make an offering of it at Mistal's lance, which is a monument tucked away in a rocky cleft to the south of here. See the bottle safely there, complete with its contents. When you come back, I'll tell you a story. About all that? Good. Here's the monument. The aged honey liqueur has a faint bouquet of roses and ochus. Place it, please. No, place it. Do your thing. Oh, well, do I have to use it? Use. That's unusual. No one gonna attack me? Nobody's gonna attack me. Okay. Sure. I mean, I appreciate it. There's preserved nature out here. We don't need to just cut down entire populations. We are a one-man extinction event. Don't force us to use our power. You offered up meat as I told you, and without drinking a drop. Very well, you shall have a tale of me as promised. Mistal is the man who founded the Lancers Guild, and the monument I sent you to was erected in his honor. Mistal was courage made flesh. Cut him and I dare say you'd have bled this stuff. It was he who first identified the two aspects of a Lancer's courage, as well as how to go about tempering him. And that weren't all he did. Seeing how the art has gone stale, what with our Lancers keeping to the confines of the Twelves Wood, he sought to bring in new techniques and methods from faraway lands. But Gridania was a different place in his day. The outside world was a thing to be shunned back then. And non-forest-born were considered faithless savages. It was even worse than now. Of course, old Mistal wasn't afraid to call this way of thinking what it was, a lot of ignorance and cowardice. To cut a long story short, despite a forest full of good old Gridanian stubbornness, he finally convinced the nation to open its doors to foreign lancers. By blending their techniques with his own, he gave the world the art which you now practice. To this day, the Lancers Guild accepts students regardless of their origin. That wouldn't have been possible if it hadn't been for Mistal. Us Lancers owe him much and more, and it's our charge to carry on his legacy. Never forget that. Huh? What's that? When's the trial? Much as I hate to disappoint you, there isn't one. Your courage was never in doubt, son. My partner training's done. It's time you visited your third and final instructor, a fellow named Vauclair. You'll find him whiling away his time at the Bobbing Cork like as not. That's an inn, Falgord Float, in case you don't know. Up the North Shroud it is. Vauclair's an old rival of mine. Him and me used to go at it till neither man could lift his spear tip off the ground. Whoa. So, the stubborn bugger goes at it till his humors can't lift his spear tip off the ground anymore, huh? Well, I know when somebody's writing for my benefit. And as we observed in the distant past, Buscaron looks like a pride guy. The truth is out there. One moment. Buscaron's certainly out in here. Alright, where are we going? Where's the bobbing cork? Where is that? I'm lucky I've got this intelligent map because I would never find anything on my own. Zoop. Yeah, our goal of understanding the geography of Eorzea has largely failed. I recognize the individual areas relatively well, sort of, but I have no sense of the overall scale of things at all. Is there a terrace? Where is this dude? Where's the dude? Vauclair, are you here? Are you in a side room? Are you in a back room? I can't get back there. Where are you? Where is he? Elaine, do you know where he is? Hey, welcome to the bobbing quarter. Beds are so soft that you close your eyes in a luxury barge adrift in the softest sea. That's not the dude. Where is Vauclair? Ah, well, reasonable. They're trying to teach me how to jump. How would I get up here normally? How would I even get up here normally? Oh, there's a staircase. Yeah, okay. Alright, fine. It was perfectly reasonable. Alright, it was perfectly reasonable. Take it you're the young lancer of whom Ewain spoke. An adventurer besides, by the look of you. I was an adventurer myself once. That was before I became a lancer for hire. But enough idle talk. You've come to learn from me, and learn from me you shall. Be warned, though, you will not find me as lenient an instructor as the others. Now pay attention. Thus far, you've learned to muster your courage in situations of fear, panic, and uncertainty. With me, you will learn to do so in the face of change. The enemy is a living thing, and living things are apt to change. Whatever the nature of that change, a lancer must be able to think and adapt. And to think and adapt during battle requires courage. To teach you the meaning of my words, I would have you challenge a fiery fiend known as a red balloon. 99 von ihnen wirklich. However, the creature will appear only when there is a raging flame. You may kindle such a flame by procuring 6 fingers from slain balloons and depositing them in a gutted campfire. This should suffice to entice the red balloon. As the battle wears on, the creature's fury shall burn with ever greater fervor until it's ripe to burst in a conflagration of death. Let courage lend strength to your lance and extinguish this fiery foe. Sure, where are the balloons? They're just south of us. Let's go pop some balloons. I'll call you back when I've got their fingers. Would it shock you if I told you that there were only 5 balloons that spawned here, and so we had to wait for respawns again? Once can be taken for foolishness, but twice seems like malevolence. Alright, gutted campfire. Balloon fingers. This tiny finger taken from a void scent balloon is hot to the touch. Hey, big balloon. Oh, he didn't altogether all that well. Oh, he got big. And he got small. Oh, look at his, oh, it's his open mouth. I thought that was his happy smiling face. That's not what it was. Anyway, back shortly. Vauclair, I've handled your inexplicable balloon puzzle, so you have vanquished the red balloon, no less than what I would expect of one of you Waynes. Your enemy altered its nature throughout the encounter, thereby causing the term of battle to shift repeatedly. Yet ever did you press onward, your courage holding firm in the midst of constant change. So it was that you emerged triumphant. I am not known for being liberal with my praise, but you've done well. Yours is a genuine courage. Mind you, this does not give you license to forsake your training. You are still but a fledgling among us after all. I've finished with you. You may report back to Ewain. When you do, tell that young upstart that I demand he show his face here from time to time. That is all. Horny Vauclair. Mrs. his ex. Listen, I remember Matthew well. Zoop. Okay, I think we're closing in now on our final task. It does have more than one stem. Just thinking about it. Old Vauclair demands I show my face. I can only assume the buxom brunette at the float isn't lavishing him with the attention he craves. Very well, I shall see what I can do. See? See? They're all fucking. As for you, Erwin, well done. I never doubted you'd meet the approval of all three men, and yet I am no less proud of you for having done so. You have traveled far along the Lancer's path, and soon you will no longer require my guidance. In fact, you need overcome but one further trial to complete your education here. Do so, and I will give you my blessing to leave the Lancers Guild and embark upon a new adventure with spear in hand. As ever, apply yourself to your lance work and return when you are ready for your final challenge. I look forward to our next meeting. Do-do-do-do. A final trial from you, Wayne. Hit me. Ah, Erwin, ever a sight for sore eyes. For your return, I take it you are ready for the final trial. Very well, let us... Guildmaster Wayne! You are wounded. What's happened? You were attacked, sir, by a dusk-white lancer as we trained in the forest. He was impossibly strong, a demon. He kept screaming something about teaching us true courage. No, not him. Not Folquist. We were in the northwest corner of the central shroud when it happened. I was able to get away with the others. You must help the others. Be strong, man. I'm sorry, Erwin. The trial must wait. Pray make haste to the central shroud and help your comrades. And Erwin, should Folquist force your hand, do what must be done. 12 speed you on your way. We fucking saved that asshole's life last time. Why'd we do that? Just let the dude die. He's declared his intention to destroy you. Believe who people are when they tell you. Don't let them fucking hang around causing... There's no way. There's no way. No way. I'm not sure what I was talking about there. So, Folquist, causing more trouble, were you? If only this were the end of the quest chain. Zoop, 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 zoop. Matron's Lathe. Sorrel Haven. Dunstan's Spire. Sorrel Haven. Sorrel Haven. I'd love to see all of the realm. Okay, we got a scarred lance. Let's touch it real slow, just like Badarin, not Badarin, Baldezian taught us. Sync time. Here we are. Help, for the love of the 12, help me. They're just playing. They're just playing. Listen, they're making their miss noises. They don't want to eat ya. They just want they want to see you run, you know. They like to see a man run. Lindworms. Isn't that a thing? A lindworm is some kind of, oh, you know what? It was a Magic the Gathering card. Which makes me think, yeah, it is a real thing, but I think that's where I know it from. To Bane the Blunt. Do-do-do-do. Let's turn the music on. There we go. How's about that? I owe you my life, friend. Another breath and I would become worm fodder. A dusk-white lancer unleashed the fiends upon us, claiming it would temper our courage. Should have seen the look in his eye when he said it. Mad bastard. Where is he now? I think he headed off toward the North Shroud. Maybe the direction of Fallgord Float. Can't say for sure. I was concentrating on the Scalekin at the time. If it's a reckoning you seek, you're like to be disappointed. Those of us who managed to outrun the worms will already have alerted the whalers. I dare say the Duskwhite is being held at spear point as we speak, begging for his worthless life in a puddle of his own piss. Serves the bastard right and all. Yeah, tell it like it is, brother. He's in his piss puddle. I don't know where that is from here. We're just gonna teleport. We're just heading over. Proof of mind. Let's meet the man who thinks himself our maker. This sure does look like where the final confrontation takes place. Hey, Folquist. Ooh, you're in a puddle of bodies. Well, good thing we didn't kill you when we had the chance, or these people might be alive now, right? I mean, that would have been terrible if we'd acted on you and you announced your intent to destroy us. I mean, it just wouldn't have been fair.
What kept you? Ooh. Helping your comrades, you say? Fool, you waste your pity on false friends. It is only a matter of time before they betray you. I, just like those wretches who saw me imprisoned and exiled.
Ooh, what does that mean?
I was once an upright citizen of Gridania and a man of the Lancers Guild. Yet life was not easy. For want of the coin to obtain the barest necessities, I conspired with my closest comrades to steal the guild's coffers. The theft soon came to light, and though there were no suspects, it was clear that the deed had been perpetrated by someone within the ranks. An air of suspicion hung heavy over the guild from the day forth, until at last, unable to bear the guilt, I convinced my accomplices to join me in confessing. Only for them to bite their craven tongues after I had stepped forward and admitted my part in the crime. So it was that I alone took the blame. Of course it was the Duskwhite, everyone said. Was there ever any doubt? It all made perfect sense. Despite my heartfelt pleas, my so-called friends denied any involvement. Instead, they called me vulgar names that I do not care to repeat. Can you imagine the shock and anguish I felt at their betrayal? Would that I had the strength to force the truth out of those traitors. Would that I had the courage to escape my dungeon cell, even if it meant taking some hapless guard's life. Driven by vengeance and no small amount of self-loathing, I resolved to forge my courage anew. I strode into the lairs of ravenous fiends while drenched in blood. I put their helpless offspring to the spear, that I might face the unbridled fury of their kin.
This is a long speech for that voice. I don't know if that voice deserves that long speech. The mischief music. Yeah, this is very like putting your hands on your hips type music.
Swing! For my efforts I have acquired the ultimate courage. A courage forged amidst danger and tempered by rage. I fear nothing. I am the greatest lancer who has ever lived.
What is this music? What is going on? The echo grants us strength beyond our limits. Alright, it is time
we settle this once and for all. You are the sole lancer worthy of the name. By defeating it, I prove my courage.
Don't be so harsh on our lancer buddies, huh? They're all good lancies too.
You will not get the better of me.
I just stunned you out of your big attack, buddy. I think that is exactly getting the better of you, Ring of Frost. Don't do it. Ooh, he's summoning friends. Spurned souls.
You think me without honor? To hells with your honor.
Alas, his reinforcements didn't show up until it was already toast.
Impossible. Oh, my courage is absolute. No, come no closer. Oh no, I won't be back next episode, you can be certain.
Nice sky. Zoom. Alder Springs, we've made it. Report to Ewain. Well, dude had a terrible fall. He also murdered several people, and at least attempted to murder more, so maybe when he said he was going to murder people, we should have stopped him? That's just my thinking. That's just my thinking. I mean, he didn't say he was going to murder people, he just strongly implied it. To be fair, in the interest of fairness, as a mental exercise, I kind of want to play the Gunbreaker, you know? Here I sit, lamenting this long fucking quest chain. It should get better. Let me do the Dragoon part, it should be quick. Ewain. So Folkwas is no more. His was a tragic tale, and one that might have been so different. Had fate not dealt him such a cruel hand, he could well have commanded a place of honor within these halls. But it avails us not to dwell on what might have been. It is enough that you are still with us, Longpoint. Yeah, especially because he killed people because you did nothing about him. Lest you wonder about your final trial, there will be none. I've seen all I need to see. You've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that yours is a genuine courage. In recognition of this, I shall pass you the secrets of Lance Charge, one of the most potent abilities in our arsenal. You are a Lancer in your own right now. There is not more I can teach you. From here onwards, it is up to you to seek out challenges that will make you grow. Like attracts like, and the strong are drawn to strength. Just as I once knew for a certainty that I was destined to face the Lord of the Bramble Patch, so too will you find or be found by an adversary of equal worth. None can say what fate will bring, but armed with your courage, there is no need to fear. There is not you need fear. Keep close to your heart the lessons you've learned here, and go forth and blaze a new trail with spear in hand. Whew, okay, well, all answered up. Unfortunately, that was but the first half of our journey. But I think it was by far the most walky. We're still going to be flying back and forth a bunch, but at least it's just straight lines flying. That was it for that. Now we need to activate Lancer? No. Dragoon. Zoop. Zoop. Let's begin. Hey, Wayne. He seeks our aid in assisting an old friend. I dare say you might be the right man for the job. The guild has urgent need of a capable Lancer for a mission beyond our nation's borders. Hear me out, if you will. I've received word from an Ishgardian friend to the effect that he requires our aid. I would have you go and provide that aid. As you may already know, due to our ongoing conflict with the dragons, Ishgard has kept her gates closed to outsiders for some time. The occasional Dragoon on patrol is about all folks see these days. In spite of her self-imposed isolation, though, the Holy See has never failed to honor her obligations to her allies. It is only fitting that we answer the call and lend what assistance we can. To this end, we offer to dispatch a contingent of wood whalers with all haste, but were politely informed they would not be welcome, much to our initial confusion. It was later explained that we are dealing with a matter of some sensitivity, best handled by individuals who are capable and trustworthy yet unbound by allegiance. And who fits that description save adventurers? Secrecy being paramount, I can provide no details as to the nature of the task. All you need to know will be revealed at the rendezvous point. Should you accept the mission, take yourself to the observatorium. A knight by the name of Sir Alberich will greet you upon arrival. Speak with Sir Alberich. Yep, right back down to that place that badly needs an aetherite and does not have one. Why don't they just put in more aetherites around the place? I swear. What was I saying? One last journey across the snow. At least one last one that you have to watch. I'll cut them henceforth. The music is just... The level of drama between those two scores is just wildly at odds. Eye of the Dragon. Soon we'll be able to get dressed again, and that'll be great. It will be most welcome again to wear a shirt. Observatorium. Yeah, Ultima Online music. Hey, Alberich. What do you think? Should we give him the same voice we gave the last person in this town? Hey, you must be the adventurer of whom we waiting some word. Greetings and well met. I'm Sir Alberich Bale, Knight of Ishgard. Only she is much obliged to you for your aid. Time being of the essence, I shall proceed straight to the heart of the matter. The eye, an Ishgardian relic of immeasurable worth, has been stolen. We have reason to believe the culprit has come this way. So it is that we ask your assistance in its recovery. The thief has been identified as a man named Estingignn, Dragoon sworn to the service of the Holy See. I heard true. Crime was perpetrated by one of our own, an individual in a position of trust and no little honor. You may be assured that a fate worse than death awaits him upon capture. My duties to the sea afford me little opportunity to travel beyond the walls of Ishgard. I must confess to a grave ignorance of recent Gridanian affairs. I was told that a sentry by the name of Logadenrel might have knowledge of routes oft taken by Ishgardian fugitives. I prefer to keep my identity a secret, and thus would have you gather that information from that man. I must act quickly, for you see, Estingignn is... But I've already said too much. What matters is that we find our thief in the eye with all haste. When last sighted, Estingignn was clad in black armor. Now go. Speak not a word of what I've told you to anyone. Sure. Are you really not in this zone? You are in this zone, maybe? Ooh, the throat that would not clear. Hey, look, logged in drow. Once favored by Guardian fugitives, now that's a question you don't hear every day. You aren't plotting some unsavory act yourself, are you? Even if you were, doubt you'd make it far. Any road, we've got a few fleeing to the North Shroud, what with Gridania being home to nearly as many Elzen as Ishgard. It's no easy task to identify outsiders. If you're on the hunt for someone, you could do worse than visit Florental's Spire in North Shroud and speak to a man named Idriston. If any suspicious persons have crossed the border in recent days, he'd be the first to know. Okay, so it doesn't all take place here. It takes place right back where we were. Of course it does. I mean, why wouldn't it? Why would it take place anywhere else? I just want to put a shirt back on. I just like to put on that shirt. Directly upward. Always directly upward. The shortest distance between 2 points is on my stripy devil's back. Idriston. Hail, adventurer, yes, I'm the one tasked with monitoring those who would enter our lands by way of Kurthus. Nishgardian knight clad in black armor. No, I recall nothing of the sort, and such a striking visitor would be difficult to forget. My apologies, friend. I can only suggest that you return to the lodge ban and see if he has any other theories. Thanks. Thanks for just sending me out here to do nothing. To do nothing. To do nothing. So if we zone, do we zone closer to our destination? I'm just about equidistant. Yeah, just about exactly. Well, that's a little closer, I think. Back in a second. Lodge ban. Lodge ban. No luck, you say? Most curious. Why, it's not impossible that a fugitive could make it this far without being espied from Florental's Spire. Which leaves the possibility that your man is still in Ishgard. Once counted to good sense, would the fugitive not want to put a distance of grounds between him and his pursuers? By the process of deduction, it is a possibility. The climes of Ishgard are not kind to drifters and vagabonds. That said, there's been talk of curious smoke wafting from a cave east of here at night. Were I you, I'd begin my search there. This just happened during the 2 minutes I was away, did it? It was right here. It was right here. Hello, ground lizards. I'm not gonna fight you. Hey, we rescued a guy from over here back in MSQ times, and we did exactly the same thing. We didn't fight anything there.
Tarok matron.
Down with you. Denied. Hookwing, thank you. What have we got? The fire fades. Men assumed a fleeting. The discard would result to sending corn-starved adventurers after me. I know not whether to laugh or feel insulted. The eye, it rouses for another. Preposterous. Our paths shall cross again. You can be sure of it. I've been planning this for a very long time. Estingignn has long been doomed to be a comedy Frenchman. Well, well, Mr. Big Jumps. He's ready to hop. Never left Ishgard, but why should he need to? He's got maximum ups. You know that Game Genie code. You remember unlimited jump height. The 90s were truly the Dragoon's day. I'll bet ich. A Dragoon clad in black, you say? Tell me all that transpired. By the oh wait, no, he has a voice. By the fury that the eye would choose another. I'd not thought it possible. In light of recent events, it would seem an explanation is in order. The eye is no ordinary relic. It harbors the power of the dragon, which it bestows upon a single chosen soul, strongest and wisest dragoon. He who is chosen is possessed of the power to fight our mortal foes, the dragons of Travania, on equal footing, soaring the firmament as if it were an extension of the land. That man is known as the Azure Dragoon. The Azure Dragoon is the light of hope for all his guardians, and the paragon of all dragoons. For this reason, you may imagine how it pains me to have to confess that the man you encountered, the thief, is none other than the Azure Dragoon, and that I was once his teacher. Needless to say, I acknowledge myself accountable for Estingign's misdeeds, meaning to do all in my power to find him and recover the eye. But I cannot do this alone. I require your help, Erwin. You have received the power of the dragon. You may labor to believe it, but there can be no mistake. Soul of Dragoon I bear glows in your presence, irrefutable proof that you are chosen. What I cannot explain, however, is the why of it. Never before in this guard's long history is the eye roused to more than one individual in a single generation, but it avails us not to cudgel our brains about it. Fact of the matter is you are now a vessel for the power of the dragon. That dragon lies yet in slumber, however, and you must needs possess the means to wake it. Soul of the Dragoon, I would entrust you with mine, Erwin. Like Estingignn, I once ruled the skies as the Azure Dragoon, though that power has since been lost to me. It was simply by force of habit that I've hitherto kept a soul upon my person. I have no inkling as to why the eye has seen fit to choose a second, and an outsider at that. Yet one thing is clear. None can challenge the Azure Dragoon and conceivably prevail, save another Azure Dragoon. You are our only hope of bringing Estingignn to justice and reclaiming the eye. Of course, I do not ask that you could do this unaided. I may be a Dragoon no more, but what knowledge I have, I shall gladly impart to you. For indeed, when the time comes, you must face the Azure Dragoon. Not less than complete mastery over the power of the dragon will avail you. That a perilous road lies ahead of you, I shall not deny. Knowing this, if you would still lend me your lance, I would teach you to harness the power that has chosen you. Go forth, my young Dragoon, and rouse the dragon within. I look forward to your return. But I am level 35, my dear. Give me the next task. Dragoon unlocked. Clothes unlocked. No, yes. Inner dragon grows stronger. We learned to jump. Hooray. This is the kind of stuff I'm made out of. Is I gonna just put in our stone? God damn it. No. No. God, it's fucking late. How is it late? I don't understand. Where does the time go? Put on the recommended gear. Here we go. We're all up in our Dragoon drag. We may have lost our pants for this, which was my favorite piece of it, which is a damn shame. All looks very goofy, and it's armor that we'll be earning through doing what we're doing now. Sir Alberic would have you undertake a trial. It is pleasing to see how readily the dragon stirs within you. You show great potential, heroine. A potential that may well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Estingignn is no ordinary Dragoon. Even when set against the legendary Azures of ages past, the man is considered second to none. Such is his prowess. In fact, at the day he was chosen by the Eye, it proclaimed that Haldrath the Dragon's Eye had been reborn. I mean not to disparage your skills, heroine, but to pursue Estingignn in your current state would be tantamount to suicide. As promised, I shall train you in the way of the Dragoon, that you might face Estingignn as an equal. Before we commence, though, it's only fitting that you are edified regarding our origins. It all began a millennium past, when our forebears resided in the southern plains in humble circumstances. The Fury, impressed by the spirit of our ancestors, decided to meet that she make them her own. So did she appear before Aldra's sire, a man of courage and integrity named Thornton, and bade him lead her people to the promised land, to what would become the great nation of Ishgard. Their journey brought them to a wide chasm, whereupon Thornton and his people set to building a bridge. It was then that a dark shadow descended upon them. The great worm Nidhogg, heedless of his own safety, Thornton fearlessly charged the colossal beast. Last he was pushed into the chasm by one of his own men, a man seduced by the worm, and fell to his death. Taking up his slain sire's lance, Haldrath hurled himself upon Nidhogg, even as tears streamed down his face. Confrontation ended when the young man, his hand guided by Aloni, landed a mighty thrust that prized out Nidhogg's eye. With a terrible roar of pain, the great worm took wing and fled, while jubilation reigned below. Ishgard's priceless relic is none other than the eye taken from Nidhogg that day. It is a veritable wellspring of dragon power. Even so removed from its owner, it can exert control over the hearts of men. Aldreth himself felt its malign influence, but his love of justice brooked no corruption, and he prevailed over the power, claiming it for his own. And so it was, the first Dragoon was born. Almost everything that we were just told is a lie. Being derived from our foe, the power of the dragon is a thing to be loathed. But as Aldreth proved to us all, so long as our hearts burn with justice, we need not fear being taken into its thrall. But what is justice precisely? Justice assumes many shapes and forms, Erwin. None can say that one is greater than another. So long as you hold fast to your beliefs and stay true to yourself, you leave no room for the power of the dragon to master you. But enough of history. Let us return our attention to the present. A knight by the name of Sir Brucemont will see the next stage of your training. Seek him out at Witchdrop. Thank you for that long, long story. Thank you for that long story, that long story. Oop, shit. Should have stayed mounted. Where is this buddy? Hello? Oh, he's downstairs, is he? Deep in the hole. Take me back to the hole, Bruce. Brucemont. So the adventurer seeks to become a dragoon. Sir Albrecht speaks of legends and chosen ones, but I would see you prove yourself in a more practical fashion with your lance. Defend yourself! Now, don't we have, like, super fancy lances? Yeah, Dragon Fire Dive. I don't know if I bound these ever. But we should. Control E. How about... Is Control C on anything? Control C. Oh, Spine Shatter Dive. Perfect. Let's do the Spine Shatter Dive. Didn't like that, did you? About the Fiery Dive. Ooh, you hated that too. Okay, that was fancy. I admit that was fancy. You have some skill, I'll give you that. And the glow of your soul crystal. Maybe Sir Albrecht was not wrong about you after all. I'll return to him. Your training here is complete. Very well. Man, the color of the light here just now is absolutely sending me. I love it. It looks so different from where we were here before. Just, it looks very real. This is like a snowy mountain. Dig it. The soul of the dragon grows. The soul of the dragon grows ever stronger within you, Longpoint. Clearly, your trial was a rousing success, and you'd only observe your crystal to know as much. Yes, but you've only just begun to walk the path of Dragoon. It is clear you possess the talent to become Estingign's equal. Go forth and make the powers you've obtained your own. When the time is right, we shall proceed with your training. Yeah, that's what I like. A nice, concise quest after a very long bit of exposition. Listen, that's important exposition. There's a reason that we're doing the Dragoon. This shit is all critical to Heaven's Word. And we'd get it there too. We'll go over it again, but it's good to see this perspective. On fading skies. You grow ever stronger, and I speak of more than just flesh. Aye, you are slowly but surely realizing your potential as an Azure Dragoon. It is heartening to look upon, though I must confess to my presiding feeling is one of relief. You must understand the mere thought that an eye would choose an outsider, one who will comprehend the threat posed by dragons, filled me with the gravest of misgivings. Yet you have... I shall say no more, lest flattery impede your improvement. Now, during our last lesson, I enlightened you regarding the origins of dragoons. You'll recall how Aldreth heroically triumphed over the great worm Nidhogg, and Ishgard came into possession of the eye. Tell me, Erwin, do you believe that the events truly transpired? Are you inclined to think them fairy tales? I ask you this because few folk have seen dragons in the flesh beside these guardians. Most would soon dismiss them as products of the imagination. Alas, the dragons are no less real than you and I, with Nidhogg perhaps the most real of all. In the course of its history, Ishgard has suffered the creature's wrath on 8 separate occasions. Each time the great worm arouses, the blood of countless Ishgardians is spilled. Let us revisit the past once more, Erwin. This time is 20 summers past, and the place is Drevania. After a century in slumber, Nidhogg awakened once more to resume his reign of terror. Entire villages were razed to the ground, their inhabitants reduced to smoldering ash. Sensing the great worm's unbridled rage, others of his kind began to rouse, in such numbers as to blot out the sun with their wings. A deep, foreboding darkness swept over Ishgard. Raging infernos painted the belly of the sky an angry red, the agonized screams of innocence fading into deathly silence. In my station as the Dragoon, I thought we were through it all, bore witness to all. I thought I was there through it all, bore witness to all the horrors. But there was no time to offer even a silent prayer. Nidhogg lingered in one place only long enough to lay to a waste. And when he took wings, so did I pursue him, a man possessed. This game of cat and mouse continued for what seemed an eternity before I found myself face to face with the great worm. The battle unfolded in a tiny settlement on the edge of Kurtis, raging on for 3 days and 3 nights, was neither side able to gain a decisive advantage. Remaining on my feet by sheer force of will, I realized that it must end now, else it shouldn't end well. Marshalling my last ounce of strength, I waged it all on a single thrust. My lance struck home, burying deep in the ruin of my opponent's empty eye socket. Before I could withdraw my weapon, the worm lashed out wildly in its agony, dealing a blow that left me sprawled upon the scorched earth, nigh insensate. In that instant, I thought myself surely doomed, but Aloni was not finished with me. Having lost a taste for battle, Nidhogg let loose a blood-curdling roar before fleeing into the sky. The battle was over. While I did not perish from my injuries, they rendered my body unfit to bear the power of the dragon, and as I was a Dragoon no more, lying bedridden, my thoughts wandered to all the innocent lives that had been lost, the people I failed to protect. The last conflict with the dragons of Dravania left countless orphans in its wake. Estingignn is one of them, the sole survivor of Ferndale, the final village to suffer Nidhogg's wrath. With none left to care for him, I did the only thing I could. Took Estingignn in as mine own son, instructing him in the way of the Dragoon when he was of age to learn. Yet I would not have you think me noble. My actions were born not of compassion, but of guilt. My guilt at having failed him. But alas, I've also failed him as a father. For what manner of man did I bring him up to be? A thief who would endanger the life of every one of his countrymen. Aye, you heard me right. All of his guard may suffer for his crime. Though we know little unless of the minds of dragons, it is conceivable that a disturbance surrounding his stolen eye will rouse Nidhogg to awaken once more. That his kin have already stirred from their slumber serves as fair warning of that. Time is not on our side. Fortunately, it would seem that you are more than ready to embark on your next trial. Make your way to Witchdrum, where the Knight Eorzea awaits your arrival. My nation is depending on you, Longpoint. This is well, I mean, that's kind of heavy. He was Estingign's father. He didn't say that part earlier. He must be feeling pretty fucked up right now. This nation is the worst. Ishgard is a nightmare. They're fucking fascists. They really suck. I mean, the other city-states suck. These guys really suck. How undo nation without killing all people who are effectively its brainwashed stitches? Do not know. Do not know. We may see a bit of a way when we return here in patch 3.0. Eorzea, you are the one who would aspire to be the Azure Dragoon. Why, you are not even of Ishgard. If you truly possess the power that Ser Umbric sees in you, then prove it to me with your lance. On guard. Do. Bonk. Horny jail. Bonk. The bonk is good. I cannot deny that bonk is valid. Big snake. You're going down, straggler. No more bonk? No more bonk. We were all out of bonks. Fresh out of bong. True north. We should move this, by the way. Boop, boop, boop. Chaos thrust we have not been using. That strength. I have not seen its like since Estingignn himself stood before me. Mayhaps Ser Umbric has the right of it after all. Return and show your crystal to him. I have no doubt he'll be pleased. Alright, oop, well you don't need to see this. Alberic, I stepped on those bugs for you. You passed yet another trial with flying colors, Erwin. The day when you may stand before Estingignn as an equal is not far off. When that day comes, the eye will choose you over the traitor. I have no doubt of this. But we must be patient still. For now, you must continue your training. When you can do no more on your own, seek me out once more. Yeah, well I'm ready for it right away, Pops. Let me replace your shitty son. How come he sounds French and you sound like Ribald Barterman, huh? What's up with that? How did that come to be? Doom Spike! Oh, you can't cast it without a target. Never mind, no Doom Spike. Sir Alberic has been eagerly awaiting our arrival. Impeccable timing, Erwin. A message arrived from Estingignn but moments ago, much to my astonishment. He would trade words with us and bid us meet him at Boulder Downs. As to his true intentions, I cannot say. May well be a trap, but we must go nonetheless. I trust I can count upon your company. Sure. Where's the rendezvous? Right over here. Whoop. Oh, like the cricket warships, the noise of 100,000 people suddenly saying whoop. Didn't even think about that. Destination. This sure looks like a super safe place to meet a dude who seems like a fucking bonkers murderer. Dude, you got that eyeball? Show me the eyeball. Whoa. It's Jeffrey. Greetings, Master. It has been too long. Estingignn, end this folly at once. You must know that each second the eye passes outside this guard walls brings us closer to a repeat of the tragedy of 20 summers past. Surrender yourself in the eye and return to me with me to Ishgard before it's too late. Ah, but it is already too late, Master, for you see, Nidhogg has already awakened. What? Hear me, Master. You have mistaken the cause of the dragon's return. The eye is not to blame. A premonition came to me by virtue of the dragon within, warning me that the great worm would soon rouse. Even as he slumbered, Nidhogg seethed with irrepressible rancor for that wound of 20 years ago. The rancor will send him flying at a speed arrow to Ishgard. It's a speed arrow to Ishgard, whereupon death and devastation will ensue. But there is a possible solution, where the eye taken to a remote land, far from the Holy See. Then, and only then, could destruction be averted, and the lives of innocent Ishgardians be spared. You mean to make a bait of yourself? Nay, there's more to this than you let on. You seek vengeance for Ferndale. Nah, he doesn't give a shit about that. He's a fucking psychopath. To me, the two things are one and the same. You know my past better than any else. It was no reason other... Woof! It was for no reason other to... Woof! It was for no other reason than to avenge my family that I became a Dragoon. This is a 90-minute session. It's getting too long. Dragons, long-outlived men, do not soon forget the wrongs done to them. True, this is a plot point. What grudge they harbor burns as fire in their hearts, over time swelling into an unquenchable inferno. You only look back on history to see that Nidhogg grows stronger with each awakening. When last he darkened our skies, the great worm came within a hair's breadth of laying waste to Ishgard. Not short of death would prevent him from completing his mission when he next wakes. Nidhogg took everything from me. Now I shall take everything from him, even if it means my life. The eye works in ways men can yet comprehend, but this much is plain. In choosing two Azure Dragons in one generation, it means for us to join together in common cause. Adventurer, you have heard my resolution. Now I ask that you lend me your power. Aye, the power of the dragon. In the long and proud history of Ishgard, never before have two Azure Dragoons arisen in the same era to fight as one. This is our best, nay, only chance to send the great worm to eternal slumber. He actually seems like not an asshole here. Behold my armor. This is the Drachenmail, forged in the lifeblood of dragons. As blood calls to blood, so too does the armor call to the dragon within, redoubling the wearer's strength thereby. If you would realize your potential as an Azure Dragoon, you needs must clad yourself in the same. You too must have a chocobo head. Glad so you'll inherit the technique passed from Azure Dragoon to Azure Dragoon down to the generations. Then, and only then, will your training be complete. But first, you must win the Drachenmail as I and Zaalberich did before you, by proving yourself worthy in the ultimate trial of the Azure, a series of battles so harrowing as to send the unworthy to an early demise. This deserves to be a proper cutscene. Master, once the adventurer acquires the armor, pray see to it that he learns to harness the power of the dragon in full. Estingignn, wait. Save your worries. Do not mean to make myself easy prey for dragons. I take my leave of you. Jump! Jump, 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 jump. He didn't fucking jump. Cannot believe he didn't jump away. That's fucking cultural failing of the highest order. Hey there, Alberich. Estingignn. Forgive me. I was deep in thought. Now then, as to acquiring the armor of which Estingignn spoke, at first it was my intention to bequeath mine own armor to you. I am an Azure Dragoon no longer, and its powers are wasted on me. It will be simple enough to hand it over to you and complete your training here and now. But as Estingignn said, the dragon armor is no ordinary set of mail. Its strength derives from the dragon blood whence it came, the blood's power resonating with the soul of the wearer. Though I can no longer draw upon mine own armor's power, this bond to me was forged years ago. Were I to bestow it on you now, I fear it would offer but a scintilla of the protection it afforded me in those bygone days. Aye, Estingignn has the right of it. You must claim your armor, as he and I did before you. You must complete the trials of the Azure, that the powers of the dragon blood be yours and yours alone. The ogre's belly shall be where your final test begins. I shall dispatch Sir Brucemont there. Seek him out upon your arrival. Where you at, Brucemont? Of course you're way the fuck up there. I mean, why wouldn't you be? Why would you be anywhere near me? Why would anyone ever be anywhere near where I happen? Of course, there are two entrances to this cave complex on the map. There's the one in the south and the one in the north, but the one in the south ain't real. It's blocked off because it's an instance entrance. But it looks on the map like it's real. Brucemont, you've grown strong since we last met, adventurer. But you pale in comparison with your azure forebears. If you would prove me wrong, let your lance do the talking. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Boing! Hey, that was a real charge right there. That was sick. Just gonna cut you open if that's okay. Unspeaking swordsman. These both, yeah, so these two are both actual charges. The jump one just bounces you to and back. Bruce. Once again, adventurer, you prove yourself worthy beyond my expectations. Take this, but know that your trial has only just begun. Your next challenge lies in the chamber beyond. Eorzea waits for you there. They do give you the gear back. I could actually put my pants back on. I think they're not as good as what I've got on right now, probably. Yeah, by a margin, but then I'd be matching dragon pants. Zip a little deeper in the cave. You, a foreigner, would don the dragon armor, then prove to us that you will not do it dishonor. Sure. I'll do it by jumping on this giant captive. Oh, it's not ready yet. Boing. Spring. Yeah. You thought you were wrong. Estingignn, I've obliterated your homunculus. It lies in pieces on the floor. Sir Alberich said the eye had chosen you. It would appear he speaks true. The armor is yours. Wear it with pride and honor. Your trial is nigh complete, but be forewarned. Many before you have made it this far only to fail at the final challenge. Do not let overconfidence be your downfall. I don't think that that's a real danger here. But I do want my big fire jump to be up, which it now is. Blue small. So you've made it this far, very well. Prove yourself worthy of the Azure or die in the effort. Will do. Yeah, how about that? About 3 super dives. How about a stun on your bone powder? An ability with a terrifying name. One moment. Sorry about that. Pizza intrusion. Anyway, that dude died. Bruce? What you got? Demonstrated your powers to me beyond a doubt. There is not an Ishgardian who could gainsay your right to don the armor of dragons. I shall send word ahead to Sir Alberic that you've passed your trials here. It is he who will present you with the 4th piece of armor and consummate your training. Go now, my fellow Dragoon, and deliver this land from the great worm's wrath. That sounds great. Sounds like something we should definitely do, or at least learn more about. The story does seem pretty self-serving, doesn't it? Let's go. I hear from Sir Bruchemont you performed most impressively. Yes, I stand more convinced than ever that you will be the one to save our land. Yet be warned, Erwin. One last trial awaits you. You will face this trial in the presence not of knights, but of ghosts. Make your way toward the Steel Vigil, and seek out a gravestone north and west of the structure. Take with you this flute. When you reach your destination, blow a single strong note. Visitors shall soon arrive. Entertain your guest, and should he leave behind a present, return it here to me. Where the fuck is this? Way over there. Alright, it's way over there. Fancy. It's Noel. You gonna aggro on me now? Because I'm not here for you. Who's this? Who is this? Who is this person just wandering here? Who are you? Hello again, old friend. Oh, sorrowful. Come out. It doesn't get any easier, does it? Wow, okay. What the fuck? Well, that was extremely unexpected, and the city waiting out there. Wow, it was really cool. It was quite a moment to have entirely accidentally walked in. I certainly wasn't expecting to be directly addressed. It's almost haunting. Alright, here comes Grey Wine. Boom! Boom. Boom. Cut him up. Cut him down. It's over for you, Grey Wine. Let's look at these things. The flute. The shrill tone emitted by this bone-carved whistle is believed to summon minions of the Dravanian horde, and the horde skull prove you, or someone, slew Grey Wine. Alright, fucking back on down to the bottom of the fucking map one last. We move. I killed a ghost for this, apparently. Your presence before me indicates you've seen to the visitor, if you want to show for your deeds. Visitor is a really interesting word for ghost, because in German the word for haunting is Heimsuchung, which means home-seeking or visitation. I don't know quite how that set of concepts transpose between languages. Remember, I observed this at a fancy dinner once when I was in Germany. I was very excited about it. My co-diners didn't know what to make of my interest. The skull of Grey Wine, old warrior of the Dravanian horde. It said that in ages past he could bring down a castle with a single breath. His strength has dwindled since those days, but its dragon past his prime is a formidable foe nonetheless. In slaying him, you've proven yourself worthy of this. You now possess 4 pieces of the armor that Estingignn, myself, and our forebears did wear. While you doubtless wonder about the 5th, I can tell you only that it is not mine to give. Fear not, though. Your triumphs in the trials and against the whole dragon of the horde give evidence that dragon blood now resonates with yours. Yes, you stand before me as prepared for your ultimate challenge as you could be. Yet before we proceed, I would hear it from your own lips. The great worm's power is your stuff of legends. Have you truly resolved to fight this battle? To risk your own life to deliver a foreign land from the clutches of its ancient foe. When you are certain that your mind is settled, return and speak to me. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Really? At this point, this did not need to be 2 quests. So you would join your strength to Estingignn so that Ishgard might be free from the rage of the Great Worm forevermore. Then I shall honor my promise. You shall have full use of your powers by the time we are done. Before we begin, there is something I must needs confess. You will recall the tale of my battle with Nidhogg 20 years past, and how the power of the dragon left me on account of the injuries I sustained. What I said was an untruth. The power did not abandon me, Long Point. It was I who abandoned it. Being derived from my mortal enemies, the power of the Azure Dragoon is a double-edged sword. Even as it lends us the strength we need to smite dragons, it heightens our communion with the creatures, rendering our minds more susceptible to their seduction than ordinary men. Even as I buried my lance in Nidhogg's flesh, our gazes locked and mine eyes met then with a look that would fair impale a man. In that instant, I found myself assailed by a torrent of emotions not mine own. Sorrow, rancor, pity. They threatened to drown the man in me and leave behind the dragon. Fearing that I might turn traitor, I chose to purge myself of the power that the eye had bestowed upon me. Thus regaining lucidity, I was able to rout the grievously wounded Nidhogg. Alas, countless of his brethren yet remained. As if to mock me, they fell upon Ferndale with a vengeance. Bereft of my power, was all I could do to save but one child. Nearly all knows this. Nay, not even Estingignn. But I can keep him in the dark no longer. At our last meeting, Estingignn said that protecting Ishgard and exacting revenge upon Nidhogg is one to him. That frame of mind, I fear, may well lead to his demise. The desire to protect and the desire to avenge are opposing forces that can ill be reconciled. Worse, the latter serves only to cloud his sense of self. When next Estingignn I meet, I intend to confess all, though it means the loss of his good opinion. The outcome of the coming battle, and his very life, may well depend on his readiness to relinquish his powers. Never allow yourself to forget the origin of your strength. Ever does a dragon lurk behind your eyes, biding its time, ready to claim you for its own. Aught less than complete conviction and you will find yourself in its vice-like clutches. So forewarned, let us return to our present endeavor. I promised to Estingignn that I would impart unto you a technique that would mark you as a true Azure Dragoon. If you would know the truth, though, this knowledge is not within my power to bestow. No, you must claim the technique much as you claim the 4th piece of the armor you bear. By proving yourself in battle with a dragon's whose power you would unite with your own. I will entrust you with this flute once more. Take it to the southwest of Providence Point and blow a single note. By locking wills with your adversary and prevailing, you will prove yourself worthy to champion the cause which your lance has sworn. The dragon within you shall then awaken. Where's this one then? Where is it? Oh, it's still way up there. God damn it. God damn it. Nearly there. Nearly there. Nearly there. Almost done. Nearly there. Our ability to fly means that we don't need to know how to get up here. We can just come up here. Always worth celebrating. Apologies, that was probably piercing. Archaeoevia, the ancient bird. Can I stun you out of this thing, this electric business? How about if I hit you with a gigantic force crit? Kaboom! Yeah, you hated that, didn't you? The dragon within stirs, resonating with the soul of the dragon. Alright, now back down to Albrecht. One last time? Question mark? Who knows? Probably not. Probably have to go after the very end. Excuse me, we're back already. It is good to see you safely returned. I take from your bearing that the engagement went favorably. The shrill tone emitted, etc. We know that line, don't we? You left this place as a man, Long Point, but you returned as a dragon. There is no more for me to teach you. From here, your battle is yours, and yours alone. Now, you might recall me saying this is the 5th and final piece of dragon armor, which is not mine to give. However, that is not wholly true. I could guide you in the direction of that which you seek. That said, I yet have reservations. Sheer power of the dragon housed within it is such that a great many of your azure forebears, myself among them, have proven hopelessly unable to wield it. But I do not doubt what I see. Within you is awakened a strength that forever eluded the likes of me. If you are not worthy of wearing the armor, then I know none who are. Remember my warning to you, Erwin, and heed it well. Nidhogg is a lord among his kind. Aught less than complete conviction, and you will surely fall under his thrall. Before you can master your foe, you need to master yourself. Hone your lance arm till you can bear no further honing, and then present yourself to me. When the time has come, I will tell you what you need to know. I look forward to our next meeting, my young Dragoon. Whew. Yes, our next and final meeting, right? Spine-shattered dive through the big jump. Alberic. Erwin. An urgent message arrived from Estingignn in your absence. He bids you come at once to the Steel Vigil. It would seem Nidhogg is on the move, and rather sooner than we'd anticipated. It appears you've not yet fully become master of the dragon within you, and yet we are racing against time. I fear we have no choice but to do battle with the best of your current abilities, and without the dragon mail I promised. Now let us away. Estingignn must know the truth of Ferndale, lest he fall for the Grey Worm's seduction. I'm gonna do the Final Fantasy like 4 thing and just explain the whole story again when we watch. Where are we going? Where is... Once again, all the way up at the top. Alright. Alright. Here we are. I guess it's inside this gatehouse, is it? It's sync time. Are you ready? Clip, clap, clop. It comes on little slogging feet. Oh, do 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 do. Alberic, I've waited long for this day. You, who fancy yourself an Azure Dragoon, the man whose cause you have taken for your own, is a coward. He relinquished the power of the dragon of his own volition and watched as Ferndale burned. Do you not think it ironic that I was chosen as Azure Dragoon? I, an orphan who had not of value to protect in Ishgard. I suppose I must give thanks, for it was the eye that revealed to me the truth. A truth so damning as to undo a lifetime of trust. I loved you as a father, but I can ill forgive you for Ferndale. As I understand it, you've kept even the Archbishop in the dark regarding the missing eye. Do you mean to take this shame to your grave? But I waste my breath. Prepare yourself, old man, for I shall lay waste to all things you hold dear. And once I'm finished with you, I shall do what no Azure Dragoon has succeeded in doing. I shall claim Nidhogg's head. Calm yourself, Estingignn. Your rage renders you vulnerable to the dragon's influence. Don't worry, I've got this. Erwin. In you, I thought I had found kindred, someone beside whom I could fight the Great Worm. It is with a heavy heart that I relinquish that dream. Your affection for this coward has rendered you deaf to your own destiny. Very well. That we should one day cross lances was inevitable from the moment of our first meeting, as we shall now find out who it is that the Eye has truly chosen. There can only be one. Absolument, mon frère. Go on. Boing. Bop. Estingignn, stop this madness. You and Errol were meant to be allies, not enemies. Estingignn is consumed with the dragon's curse. The dragon within us stirs. Stab. Eyeball. I feel my wounds knitting. The dragon's eye. Ah, yes, the power of the eye, but it cannot compare to my own. He's got the dragon's curse. You have awakened the dragon, Long Point. Now its flames shall consume you all. Power, I must have more power. Grant me the strength to raise mine enemies. Estingignn, surrender not to the beast within. Have you forgotten the vows you swore? You see, my true dislike for Estingignn is that he looks hot, but when he finally takes off his helmet, it's not fucking on. Feeble creature, dost thou desire power? Look to thine anger and thy hatred. It is there that thou shalt find it. Almighty Nidhogg, Lord of Dragons. Grant unto me thy blood, that I might be granted the claws and fangs wherewith to rend thine enemies. Whoa. Forecast didn't mention that. Long Point. This is impossible. It cannot be. Seems that the dragon bestowed its might upon us, not on him. We did kind of evaporate him, didn't we? Where did he go? I don't know. Forgive me, Estingignn. I failed you once again. I'm fine, Erwin. Somewhat shaken, but otherwise whole of body. Suffice it to say, I have much to reflect upon. Let us return to the observatorium. He's becoming sad dad mode. The soul of the dragon shines with unbound radiance. It couldn't have taken us back to where he is. Even now, even in this last moment, he just got to walk off on his own while we... Hey, Alberek, you couldn't have given me one of those scrolls of teleportation that you apparently keep. With the being of darkness, when the being of darkness closed upon us, you appeared to me the spitting image of Haldrash the Dragon's Eye, just as he's depicted in the Holy Scriptures. I thought that mayhap the years had taken their toll on my mind, but behold, the soul of the Dragoon shines as it never did in all the years I bore it. It would seem you achieved what was thought impossible. You've awakened to the ability that none but the first Azure Dragoon possessed. Truly a momentous achievement. I can still scarcely believe that you were able to summon the self-same dragon mail worn by Haldrath. To think to have been sealed within the soul crystal all this time. I've borne witness to many and more wonders over the years, yet none compares with you, my young Dragoon. Could it be that you are... Mark not my mutterings. I'm certain it was your indomitable sense of justice that resounded with the spirit of the first Azure Dragoon, prompting him to bestow his armor upon you. Yes, that is doubtless what happened. As the being of darkness faded, so too did Nidhogg's aura subside. Now his kind have ceased their stirring. If this was compelled by your awakening, I cannot say. I suspect we will learn the truth of it eventually. Estingignn, my dear boy, whatever becomes of him, he will ever be as a son to me. I pray that he is somewhere out there still, and that he has not wholly forgotten the great man he once was. When that darkness brushed against me, The self-same torrent of emotion swept over me as those I experienced 20 summers past. But there was something else besides. It was a voice that lamented the rift that divides dragons and men. You will come to comprehend that I speak in due time. Till then, Erwin, I pray that you will ever use your newfound strength in the name of justice.
Wow.
Into the Dragon's Maw. Complete. Whew. Right in at the 2-hour mark. It is now after midnight here. What the fuck? That took forever. I expected it to take forever, and it did. Still, I'm glad that we did it. Wait. Why do you have a quest for me? Oh, you've got like the next actual Dragoon quest for me now. Nope, not yet. We'll see that another time. Because I am signing the fuck off. See you soon.